Ssvetlana Alexeyevich lives in Minsk in Belarusia, and she is, of course, an extraordinary writer. For the past 30 or 40 years, she's been busy mapping the Soviet and post-Soviet individual. But it's not really about a history of events. It's a history of emotions. What she's offering us is really an emotional world. So these historical events that she's sort of covering in her various books, for example, the Chernobyl disaster, the Soviet war in Afghanistan, and so on, these are in a way just pretexts for exploring the Soviet individual and the post-Soviet individuals. And she's conducted thousands and thousands of interviews with children, with women, and with men. And in this way, she's offering us a history of a human being about whom we didn't really know that much, at least not in this systematic manner. And at the same time, she's offering us a history of emotions, a history of the soul, if you wish.
Have you talked to her today?
Indeed, I have, and she was overjoyed when when she finally understood who was calling her, and her comment was fantastic.
Yeah. She hasn't written prose or poetry. She hasn't written fiction. She is, in fact, a journalist. Could one say that you are widen the concept of literature?
I think so. Not only is the material that she's offering us new, but she's actually devised a new genre, a new kind of literary genre, and that really speaks to her. That's part of her achievement. It's a true achievement, so not just in terms of material, but also in terms of form.
Do you have a personal favorite among her books?
I do. The War's Unwomanly Face, I think it's called in English, and that's the one book that I would recommend that people begin with. And it's an exploration of the Second World War from a perspective that was, before that book, almost completely unknown. And it tells the story of hundreds and hundreds of women who participated, who were at the front in the Second World War. About 1 million Russian women, Soviet women, participated in the war. And it's a largely unknown history. It was a huge success in the Soviet Union where it was published. It sold more than 2 million copies.
A final question.
Yes.
If one should start, if one is a common reader, which book would you recommend? Well,
I would recommend this one book about the female soldiers and participants in the Second World War. It's a touching document, and at the same time brings you very close to every single individual. And in a few years, all of them will be gone.
Thank you.